Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin and today I'm going to be bringing you guys kind of an update video following on from the AoE scaling slash kind of fix slash shadow update, whatever it was the other day. And this is actually a post by a developer from New World who's brought us this kind of update. And now kind of almost an apology to you guys here, because it turns out this has been the same thing, according to this post at least, since the closed beta. Now a lot of us hadn't realized this, mainly because during the closed and open beta there wasn't really the opportunity for a lot of wars to really min-max and kind of test the scaling test when you've got multiple big heavy hitting healers or damage dealers on the same spot, kind of overlapping, what that would actually mean. So again, from my side of things, apologies, maybe I hadn't caught up with that, whether it's true or not, and whether kind of in terms of the numbers, whether we'd been seeing numbers that weren't necessarily truly reflecting the game data that was being produced is another matter entirely, because I'm almost convinced I saw kind of numbers crossing over, but who knows? Honestly, who knows? And the developers themselves have come forward here and said that that's not been the case since closed beta. So just to kind of bring you guys up to date, kind of a rerun on what's actually happened here then. So this is from a New World developer on the official forum, so it's an official word of mouth directly from what they've said here, and it says, "Hello combat fans, I wanted to introduce myself. I am Dave NW and I lead combat efforts on New World. Thanks for bringing up this topic. There was no change made to the AoE stacking logic. This is working as intended and has been working this way since the closed beta." So essentially, it's not a shadow update, it's not a shadow nerf, it's not a balance thing, it's not something new at all. It's been working since the closed beta, which again, I think just a lot of us hadn't really had much chance to test since the previews, where obviously this was a little bit different, even kind of confirming that in this post that it maybe was different in previews. But since the closed beta, it's been this way, and now we're finally getting to properly test it and kind of really digging into it. We can see that it is different from those previews there. Now, that's kind of where the content creator side of stuff lands. At least I know most of the other content creators that made videos on this, kind of similar to myself, also played in like kind of the preview stages. So I think that's where we're basing our logic from. He then goes on to say, "We do not want long duration AoE spells to stack on top of each other, as this will cause massive scaling issues with damage and healing output in combat. Stacking multiple Sacred Ground spells would result in players being unkillable, and conversely, stacking multiple Ice Storms would immediately kill opposing players. Neither experience is something that we want to happen. When AoE spells stack on top of each other, the AoE with the longest remaining duration will take priority. We like the idea of coordinating between team members to maximize the damage and healing output of these spells. The less overlapping you have on these spells, the higher your damage and healing output will be as a team." So, a few things that I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys on here as a result of this post. Like I said initially, massive apologies on my end if any of you guys got confused or frustrated by this. It does seem like it's been a case since closed beta. That being said, like I said, we haven't had a chance to test it until now in these large scale things, so kind of that's where the logic comes in. But there's some really important points here that we need to make off the back of this. So going forward, it's going to stay the same. This is how they intended it. It's working as intended, as stated up here on the post, working as intended. So that's not something we're going to see a change to, which would be good news to some of you, including myself, who really enjoy PvP, and this is a good update. Some people may be a little bit frustrated by that, but this is just how it's going to work. PvE players who are kind of getting frustrated, saying, "Oh, well, it's not fair in PvE, we should be able to stack yada yada yada," is exactly the same thing. Just because it's against mobs doesn't mean the balancing should be any different, because if you were able to fly through that content, that would be as disheartening as it would in PvP, because you'd fill up the content very, very easily and quickly and just fly through everything, no challenge at all, and kind of job done, end game complete. So it does make sense. It makes a lot of sense in how the game operates and works, and will make sense with future content, in my opinion. You know, stuff we've seen potentially coming into the game, that kind of things they've teased at. This will work well. And the main thing I wanted to sort of touch on here is kind of the strategy part of it. The less overlapping of the spells that you have, the higher damage and healing output will be as a team. So essentially what he's saying here is, when you are in these war situations, and when you are in these big PvE situations where you're killing a boss or several mobs, or indeed it's going to be winning that territory, what you want to do is really coordinate your team and get working on that team effort, team kind of cohesion, so that you can rotate through. Someone puts an AoE down, then somebody else, and somebody else. And especially with Sacred Grounds, if you've got someone who's got a better heal, or a better heal for that AoE there, rather than single target, whatever the case may be, I don't know. You know, kind of prioritize your team on that. Maybe you want some single target healers that are prioritizing your tanks, your main guys that are in there, your melee DPS, and then you want some that are putting down a sacred ground every time it's off cooldown, maybe 2 or 3 healers that are constantly rotating on that point. Who knows? But this is going to be something that we can work on going forward, now knowing that at least it is not going to change. That is the way it's intended. So it's going to be just a quick update video for you guys today. Hopefully it kind of clarifies things for you, kind of puts everybody on the same page. And like I said, apologies if anybody was confused coming from that last one. I myself was confused after reading this, but you know, now I've gone through it. It makes sense and it's a good change in my opinion. So hopefully at least we're all on the same page now going forward. I will be bringing you guys another video later today, so make sure you do stay tuned for that one. Subscribe to the channel down below if you are new. We'd love to have you here as part of the channel community. It's been amazing so far. All support's much appreciated, so make sure you do join as part of that. It'd be great to have you here. Other than that, guys, make sure you drop a like on today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, and if you've got any comments, concerns, queries, whatever the case may be, drop that down below as well. I'd love to get chatting to some of you guys. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care and peace.